Alright, welcome back, guys. We've got a good old-fashioned TVP on our hands, and as stated before, it's a fresh best of 3 here in the Copa América Season 2 qualifying brackets. This is, of course, the first qualifier of 4, and we'll see how and who get through it. But for now, spawning... Spawning down here in the bottom left corner of the map from, I believe it's Immortal Gaming. If I'm mistaken about that, my apologies. The blue Terran player, Ninetales.
Anime desu. You never read it. As the red Protoss, it is Gool.
It's so nice to have simple names. I like this a lot. Gool actually made a special request real quick. I'm going to paste this in chat. He does have a Facebook page. He requested specifically only if you guys like his play style that you go check this out. So kind of an interesting way to go about this. Not saying everybody come look at me, but kind of a, hey, if I've earned your favoritism after this series, would love for you to check me out. So guys, got no problem pumping that for him there. Facebook.com/GhoulSC if you want to check him out. But, yeah, PvT, I don't know, it feels like every single region is a different meta of the game right now, but it's like the generic strategy of you want to get Colossus as soon as possible, and for Terran players, you want to bait out overcharges as soon as possible. After that, it comes down to strictly your macro and your micro.
That's a good sum of the matchup. I'd agree.
Yeah, TLDR.
Yeah, right? TLDR. Unfortunately, we don't know much about these two players, so unlike, you know, Hawk, where we could be like, well, he really likes his gateway, so it might be like a gate wheel, and I don't know. We have no idea. So far, they're both playing standard, so I guess neither one of these players has gotten their, I want to say fame.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good way to start.
Fame, I guess, by doing any proxy raxes or whatever.
Or pig baby carriers.
Right? Well, that has yet to be seen.
Okay, so guys, just to go over this real quick too before we get into this, I know somebody in Twitch chat's going to get their panties in a twist about it. Both these players are currently masters on the North American ladder. So while the Copa America does tend to let in some diamond players here and there and some lesser skilled, if you will, these guys are kicking it, I guess, quite nicely. As there are no Grandmaster ladders open, I actually should have checked their profiles and seen if either of them have been GM in the past, because you'd be surprised. You know, there's the typical players that are your tournament contenders, always GM, sure, great, fantastic. Then those are the ones you've never heard of. Either way, the key thing is with them both masters at this current moment, to me that just immediately says these guys are matched for one another. And I've said it on cast before, I will always say it, I'd much rather watch two players that I've never heard of that are evenly matched go at it than one player who's really famous overwhelm another. Kind of like what we saw versus Huck. Not that I'm saying I didn't want to watch Huck play, but as we saw, guys, it was a little bit one-sided in that first series of the day compared to the second game, which was a little bit closer to being matched up. It was a lot more exciting, that's for sure. But this is a...
So...
Why? Why?
Because while you're talking, Gool actually went for a slightly early gateway, and he got 2 Zealots, a Stalker, and a fast Mothership Core, so you need a bunker against this, and you're not going to get it down on time for the top. If he had got with an SCV, he would have seen this coming, maybe would have, you know, not gotten Reactor, would have gotten just, you know, pumped up Marines, but...
That
you know
Reaper.
what?
That was
wow,
you
went for super early engineering, but he should have had a second barracks down at this time, or a factory, something. So instead of, well, what, like...
Yeah, I didn't realize he had gone for that fast reactor. I mean, it's such an uncanny thing to do, but this should hold for the time being. The problem is he can't take the Marines out of the bunker. He needs this. So as the Mothership Core goes over and starts harassing the SCVs, oh, actually the reactor in a lot of trouble right now. He might kill 2 of the Zealots, but the Stalker's still going to be a nuisance. And the Mothership Core...
South. So south for Ninetales. I mean, yes, this aggressive Protoss opener is it's annoying for any Terran, honestly, and it can get you some free wins as a Protoss player. But like, this is actually some of the the unluckiest holds I've ever seen. What are you doing? No!
It's attacking its own command center. Oh, the misclicks are real right now. Of course, if he can stutter step forward, even if he loses the Marines to the Stalker, if he kills the Mothership Core, that's the big deal. That's the big fish to fry in this scenario. But unable to produce any other Marines for the time being, puts the weak one too close, and this Mothership Core can still go down if you had another Marine out. Just put him in the bunker, man. You're not dealing with that Mothership Core. You don't have the troops for it.
I'm not sure what... It just looked like he messed up. As soon as he saw the Zealot, it was like he messed up his entire build.
Yeah, he got so flustered off that the Reaper went to the Mothership Core. Everything went south very quickly. I would not say this was necessarily a build order advantage in the start of the game, but more like a control advantage. Because Ninetales just kind of, you know, he had the tools necessary to handle this with minimal losses, but kind of just spaghettied all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, that early gateway with the super hyper aggressor. It's so annoying not only because of obviously the aggression that Ninetales barely held off, but also because you have no idea oftentimes what's coming up behind it, especially if you lose the Reaper, you know, but more often than not the Reaper's like helping out in defense anyways. It doesn't have the time to go over and see what's going on. So it could be like a one base like Orgol all-in or something behind it. Luckily for Ninetales, it's actually an expansion.
Ninetales, we talked about these games having the different metas of the game, and he is kind of adapting that old school one. You get the armor up as soon as possible for your Zealots, possibly going to go straight to Templar Archives for the Storm, but what I really don't like here... Oh, it's actually a Dark Shrine. I take that all back. What I don't like is the fact that Ninetales looks like he was gearing up to still go for a Widowmine drop, even after like all this happened. His timings are way off. The advantage of a Widowmine drop is it gets there so early, there's usually not detection, or the detection is finishing up as you get to the base. But as we see, there's already cannons in the mineral line, no need for observers. These Widowmines are going to cause no damage.
7:30 usually is the time on 2 base, but, you know... coincidentally, because they both, you know, Gool obviously went for a bit of a more aggressive opener, dedicated a little bit more into it. His Dark Shrine is also, you know, later. It's not like the fastest one you can get. So luckily, this Widowmine drop will still do one part of its job, which is to scout. So yeah, no damage done, but it's going to see a Dark Shrine, hopefully, unless it really is miscontrolled.
It's funny to look at this too, because I'm thinking back to like the Wings of Liberty days where I would lose games to Chrono Zealots, you know, just send them across the map real fast, and kind of similar opening in that regard. But sees the cannon, backs away.
Oh, he's not going to see the Dark Shrine?
Oh, really? Oh, no. That's...
Yeah? Oh my god, he saw the 3 gateways, but not a Dark Shrine. That is so unlucky.
If I was him, honestly, you go back for a scan at this point. You see 5 gateways, that's an awkward number. It's not 6, it's not 7. 5? Well, okay, actually it's 6. I take that back because I can't count.
Well, he has the missiles are at the front. He got a precautionary turret. The problem is he doesn't have any units.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to go down here right away, but... this kind of signals that he needs to save some scans. He's got 1 available currently. But as you pointed out, no units. Oh, the depot needs to be raised. Oh, God. DT's hit so hard, guys. Nothing tanks these well.
He's coming back home with his reinforcements. He has to. Like, if you just go in towards the overcharge.
Ninetales just got swiped so hard it knocked this connection loose. These DTs just did. Look at the damage they did. That's so dumb. Oh, they just wrecked everything. And of course, there's no detection here outside of the turret, so might need to pop a scan. This Marines, there we go, pops the scan. But the SCV count, I mean, obliterated. 25 workers killed. Oh, zombie grip. I don't know if it's coming back from this.
I think Ninetales is what you call got Protossed.
Yeah. I mean, well... I don't know. I would say unlucky, because, I mean, he moves out with his army. He's got no rally set up at home. He gets a little bit greedy with reactors and production. A big emphasis on that would be the start of the game, getting that reactor out so quickly. I mean, everything he did this game just fell to what was, well, I guess, except for the DTs, typical Protoss aggression. You know, this wasn't something like he layered in 3 gates and warped in 10 stalkers. This was just, it snowballed pretty bad from the get-go, and there's still no orbital being made here, because he actually doesn't have the money to do it while producing SCVs.
It's not the height, it's not the epitome of cheese that we see from Protoss. Like I said, like a 1-base Oracle, and after that early aggression would have been probably the most annoying thing in the world. But still, like, you're right, like this, it's the whole idea though that like only a world-class player can really deal with early aggression, deal with it, and also deal with any follow-up aggression completely okay. Like, you're already flustered because you messed up the first aggression, and then what do? They go like an Oracle, they go like the Dark Shrine that you just barely don't scout. Like, that's just, it is all about the unlucky parts for Ninetale right here, but it's also the frustration that comes with playing Protoss, unfortunately.
Alright, I pieced it together. You know what? Gool sounds like cool, which is usually how I would describe water. Water's super effective against fire-type Pokemon. Ninetales makes sense that he's losing this game.
Alright.
Nailed it. But this is actually completely worrisome, too. We got combat shields completing so late. I mean, this is... Guys, this is 13 minutes of the game. This is something where all of his timings are just completely off from that opener. His tech lab was really late. He was floating gas for a little bit of time. I mean, he's starting to make the right moves. He's got a even with the army so he doesn't have to burst scans. I actually really like that choice. But the danger is it's probably going to get feedback. So will this medevac.
Yeah. He has to deny this third. There's no question. He's down to 19 SCVs. Yeah. 19!
Mules are nice, but they're not that good. 66 probes for his opponent. There's cannons down, so Woodwings are actually detected where they burrowed. Oh, that's painful to look at. That's on the edge too of that detection line.
This Raven's gonna try out so hard. Oh, that's a secret missile. It's gonna be an effective secret missile too.
Yeah, because a good chunk of the army. I was kind of hoping to see a point defense drone, but with the Archons here, there's just no way to fight. Oh, the force fields are whiffed pretty badly, but Ninetales on the full retreat here, coming back home. He does have a wall up, so that's got that much going for him. Oh, there's one Zealot. Where did you come from? It's gonna kill like 3. Okay, never mind. This is sick. It could possibly kill 3 Marines, but big warping down here for Gool. Actually, quite a bit of Zealots down here.
Oh my god, I just died.
What? Do we need to get you a medevac?
Oh my god. Ha, good one.
911, 911. I need a medevac to somewhere across America.
Somewhere in Virginia, I don't know really where.
Somewhere in this rough vicinity of the states. There's a girl dying. I'm sure you'll find her. Hashtag Medicare. All right. Anyway, so this drop is gonna get feedbacked. Everything in it's gonna die. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've had that happen to me so many times. It's the worst feeling in the world. It really is. I hate feedback.
You're not gonna take a third, are you? Oh, that's not gonna happen, man. That's
No,
more useful, honestly, right now, as a wall.
Yeah, because it's got more health than the supply depots as well. It sounds funny to say it like that, guys, but Ninetales really on the back burner here. He's got 1 secret missile in this Raven. Yeah, this is so painful to look at. There's not enough Widow Mines. There's no Widow Mines. And that's how you deal with a Zealot-based army. I mean, this early Templar, well, actually, he never went for Storms. This is just Archon Zealots.
Is Raven trying to be the hero of the game?
Ah! Gets the Dark Templar, or High Templar. Woo! But yeah, this wall is going to get destroyed. It's going to get wrecked. We got a Hallucinating Colossus come in. It's going to soak some turret hits for the
Why would you
I
put
guess.
down the supply depots?
I don't know! Ninetales is super weak to water attacks. That's my logic. That's all I've got for this one. SCVs are pulled into position, but the Archons are way too strong. No ghosts, no hope, no upgrades. That's going to be it. Game is called GG, and Gool will take game number 1.
I know we were pretty hard on Ninetales right there, but let's like really look at it for what it was, and that was just a bad start into a flustered mid and an impossible late game. Like there was really nothing you could do. Like lowering supply depots, taking a third, like those small mistakes aside, didn't actually matter.
I think the thing too that sucks is if that was like ZVP and the same sort of fluster opening happens, like you recover easier as a Zerg player. It's just mechanically built into the game. As a Terran player, you take a small amount of harass like that in the early game, it doesn't matter that you personally got on tilt. It's the fact that you don't have the tools to make up that difference as easily. So it's a hard way to fall back off of. Let me see what the next maps are going to be though, guys, because I think we have to host it. Next map, we host. So once again, if you guys did like Gool's playstyling, if you're a fan of the Protoss domination that you just witnessed, facebook.com/GhoulSC. You know, I may have to dip into this Captain Morgan's a little bit early if if that happens again. Just pour one out for my Terran brother.
It's one for my homies.
Alright, it's King Sejong, not surprising. Pretty sure we're just gonna get these 2 maps back to back to back, like all season. Who's his opponent? What was the name? Ninetales. Right, there you go. Sorry guys, just part in us here while we get things sorted. We're just getting the lobby made and see if any other casters need to get in here. J Chaos Latin Gamers, there we go. Latin, not Leighton. Alright, we're just gonna start. Let's rock and roll.
Okay.
No one's saying they need the invite, so we shouldn't wait too long. But this PvT continues here, guys. We'll see you in a sec here on King Sejong Station. Yo, so admittedly, I didn't go to his Facebook page right away, but Gool, this guy is a beast. He's got this amazing beard. His upper body looks crazy. This guy is scary, and he's holding a computer on his shoulder like it's nobody's business. So again, that's facebook.com/GhoulSC if you guys like this guy from the Chaos Lad Gamers Clan. Spawning here at the top left corner of the map, the Red Protoss player Gool, who is also leading this series 1-0 at the moment.
In the bottom right, just having a string of bad luck. It is the blue Terran Ninetales.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's I want to call it luck, and that's what I would call it if I was playing the game. But I think the biggest thing was no scouting information for Ninetales really hurt. I mean, that Reaper getting shut down early, I mean, I wouldn't say that's the one thing that caused that game to be a loss, but that's what really started it, because, you know, he never got to scout, he never scanned, he never saw what was coming his way. If he had anticipated the DTs, maybe that was a completely different game. But as we saw, it threw him for a loop, he lost so many SCVs, and that was the downfall of that game. I imagine he's going to play a lot more precocious this game. I highly doubt we'll see DTs again. You rarely see them twice in a row, but, I mean, for a player like Gool, you recognize that you got such a lead so early, why not? You know, don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah, I guess so. Something interesting that he did last time, Ninetales that is that he did wall off. A lot of players say that you shouldn't. I'm of the opinion that it usually doesn't really matter. The reason that you shouldn't is because with the Militia Corps, the Stalkers can take down the supply depots one at a time, and yes, that's very annoying. It just, more often than not, that never actually happens.
Yeah, no, you're right. There was a time period too where like even players like Polt would never put their first supply depot near the top of the ramp, and then there's a nuisance to deal with. But the early aggression, I think, has since been figured out. The earlier Reaper plays a really large part in making sure that you don't get screwed by things like that. And you know, oftentimes it comes down to the bunker on the low ground anyways, protecting the natural rather than having to worry about camped up one base. I mean, that was one of the biggest advantages of all these new maps, too. I don't think the map layout itself necessarily stopped blink all-ins, but it definitely helped discourage them. So we don't see as many of those either, so a lot less one-base play.
Yeah.
We get the probe here. First blood! Or I guess blue smoke, flame, and robot parts.
I think you can call it blood. Just a different type of blood.
Is it really blood? Because I mean, zealots also like erupt into like fire and energy when they die. Well, they don't even have like blood that comes out.
What is blood, really? But you know, life juice. It's life juice.
Are we really gonna get like all deep and existential? Like, you know, if we're gonna be talking about life juice, what is life? You know?
No, you know what it is.
It's
like
fleeting.
Life juice.
Life is fleeting, is what it is.
It's really a very intelligent way of putting it. We're getting into intelligent design here. No.
What is wrong with you? Sometimes I swear. Alright, so the Reaper is going to get to the main. Doesn't get a good scout off right now, but what it does see is that Nexus coming down. And as a Terran player, this is actually a really fantastic thing to see. Because if you see this Nexus, you know, chances are it's not a proxy Stargate because this costs too much. Chances are you're not going to blink all-in coming your way, not at least not unless it's off of 2 bases, but usually by then you've got stim. So this small little scout is actually quite a big one.
You think that, but then they actually put down an Oracle somewhere. Get the next little bit later. No, it is really a comfort, sigh of relief for most Protoss Terran players. That is, you know, I don't think Ninetales scouted with an SCV. That really bothers me because what happened last game. I mean, you said it. Like if it works, you know, and fix it. Gool could have definitely gone for that same early aggression and done a lot of work.
Well, I think it's a little bit more limited on this map as well, though, because King Sejong does have that really long rush distance from base to base. So Overgrowth, not quite as long. I think it's actually 5 seconds shorter. I don't know. We'd have to consult Daniel Fenner, the king of rush distances, on this. But yeah, Ninetales, you know, classic players, like the best players. You watch someone like Jockshi, someone like Hart. They've got some of the best PvT in StarCraft2 right now. They open with the SCV Scout. They followed up with the Reaper anyways. Information in the early game is incredibly crucial to a Terran player, and that kind of shifts as the game goes on. You know, once you've established what your opponent's doing, you're kind of good to go. For Protoss players, the need for information comes to the late game, knowing where and when the medevacs are coming from.
Ninetales setting up again for this Widow Mine drop. Like I said, if it's not interrupted, it hits around 7:30. It's usually a really good time to see any tech they're putting down, such as a Dark Shrine, should you actually go back enough to scout it. Didn't happen. We do have Double Forge on the way, but they're not going to be done. The cannon's definitely not going to be done, at least by the time the Widow Mine drop happens. This could do damage.
You You know what bums me out? We joked about the first blood with that probe, and I think we got more first bloods in chat than we normally do when I actually first blood on our own stream. That Twitch delay. It's becoming part of the wall. This is funny. We've seen players like Ryung actually do this. It helps wall off these bigger gaps a lot easier. But this does put your critical buildings like engineering bays in the open. Possible to lose your 3-3 upgrades as they're 10% from completing? Who knows? But this push is a little bit cute. This comes with Widow Mines built in. There is an Observer here, but there's not a lot of units. And each of these Widow Mines has the potential to cancel out one Stalker, to nullify the army supply of his opponent in one good hit. These probes, however, are going to soak. Oh! Actually, only one probe soaks the hits. The other Widow Mine a little bit useless at the moment. But that stack of probes! Oh! That immediately goes from like 2 workers killed to 12. A drop in the main at the exact same time, and Ninetales is showing us a much better game than he did in game number 1. This is doing an immense amount of damage. Probes are falling left and right. This drop in the main can pick off the mothership core. It is going to focus the mothership core down. It should be able to get it. It's running over its life though. 21 workers killed. If he gets the medevac out alive, this is the best aggression he could have put on.
That was so great.
I mean, this is... I was a little bit worried. You know, you watch the way game number 1 went, you're like, Ninetales, is he really up to playing in this tournament? But he just gave us our answer, guys. Gool did not do anything wrong, but Ninetales did a lot of things right and did get really lucky with those Widowmine hits. Redropping the main once more. There's not a whole lot of probes left to kill, but he's going to focus the ones that he can. Oh, this is hard to watch. I mean, as a Terran player who loves this, this is still hard to watch. This is doing way too much damage in the early game.
Roles completely reversed here. It's like they just switched accounts real quick.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, don't tell anybody. Gets it out alive. This is big. Losing the medevac early takes away the threat of continued drops. It's a big, expensive unit you don't want to have to replace. 1-1's on the way for Ninetales, and I'm really favoring his position in this game right now. 3rd CC is on the way. He's on the path to success.
You know, I just want to note to, you know, add a little bit more of, like, cool points to Ninetales. So that Widowmine shot was 100% him.
Oh, was that actually
when I
micro?
got all those probes. It's got to be 100% because that, like, the probes that were transferring over should have been the ones that were actually in range, but...
If that's actually the case, that is incredibly impressive. I assumed it was just simply luck.
Oh, come on. Oh.
It's another decent hit. Nothing crazy.
I mean, just for one Widowmine.
You know, with the 31 workers dead, it's 33 probes versus 32 SCVs. This is a situation where the Protest player would normally have a huge lead, be taking a 3rd right now, looking to move out, perhaps apply a little bit of pressure, but that's not the case, and Ninetales is stuck with a very small army. I mean, this... it's too early for it, but I think even if this goes to the Colossus tech, if Ninetales pulls the boys, I think he's going to win this game.
Colossus tech is just... There's a lot of reasons, but it seems to always be that if you go for high Templar tech, which people don't do anymore, at least first off, because, well, Widowmines are wrecking face against charge lots, they have a much better chance of, like, coming back in a long game, you know? When you go for Colossus, it's very obvious what you do. You get a couple of Vikings, you just A-click over them because the ground army is still really, really small, and then you demolish them. With high Templars, like, 2 storms coming out of left field, so much more powerful.
Yeah, it's not the case though. The army supply right now of Gool is just not standing. It's 6 stalkers and a mothership core. this is not gonna cut it. Force fields might go down to the natural. Guess what? Picks up drops in the main. Mothership core has only got enough energy for 1 overcharge, not 2. He's chronoing out those upgrades, trying to get on 2-2, but you know, upgrades, while fantastic, are not good if you don't have anything to apply them to. 1 zealot with 3-3 does not beat 3 zealots with no upgrades.
Yeah. I just stims in here the cannon.
He's got this. He's got this. Widowmine's gonna go on the burrow. Goes on the forward assault. Stalkers go down like nobody's business. Focuses on the Nexus. Kills the mothership core. No chance of anything else happening. Just runs straight to the main. That medevac has 4 health on it. 1 shot from dead. Colossus not even gonna get a chance, and Gool is gonna tap out. Evening up the series now 1-1. Ninetales will take game number 2. That was such a better game, and it's hilarious to me that both of these games were so heavily decided on early aggression. You know, that transferred and transitioned and translated so well for both players, both times. And now we're going to get to game 3 where, you know what, luck would have it, probably nothing's going to happen. No rush 40 minutes thing.
Well, Ninetales certainly seems like he likes that opener just on any type of map. I'm really interested to see what map we're going on. Because if it's another 2-base one, which... Wait, what is left on the map pool that's 2-base after those 2?
I don't know. Actually, I don't think they're, because everything's new
Yeah.
is 4-3 players. So perhaps Catalina, maybe something else. I don't know. We'll
Yeah. Well, even on a 3 base, I think you can still pull it off, but Goal going for that really early gateway again. Slightly early. Really early sounds like a proxy, but
oh, Deadwing.
okay, that's not gonna be, that shouldn't be any early gateway aggression.
This is a game that we're falling in love with Terran players on this map, so.
Well, I was warned, you know, we only cast CVTs on that map, so that looks awesome in that matchup, but
Oh, I cast a bunch today on the
versus
European
Protoss?
qualifiers. Yeah.
did they abuse it?
Gung Fu Banda was using the Colossus behind the third base. Oh, it was so sexy.
Okay, well that's what I'm like. That's what they were like. You know, don't judge it until you see Protoss on the map. And I'm like, you're probably right.
Yeah, well, I think that's a scenario though where, unlike siege tanks, there's the threat of the Vikings. I don't think it's gonna work as well. You know. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out as we get into this map, guys. Game number 3 currently playing on Deadwing, one of the new maps here for Season 2 of Copa America, but Season 3 of Blizzard Ladder. Just getting all the pretty colors turned on and the player tags, guys. Give us a sec here. Of course, Chaos Latin Gamers is his clans. Let's go. Everyone ready? Guys, we all know Magikarp's the best Pokemon. I don't know. Ninetales is very regal. I guess, I don't know. But okay, guys, here we are, getting ready to go into the match. Go, 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 go is called. Actually, I have to load the map picture real quick. There we go. All right, let's hop into the action. See you guys here in a few secs. Oh, damn it. Alright, welcome back. Before we get into the game, what is this thing you linked me? You've debunked to beast. What? What?
You ever played The Sims?
I have played. Oh, because they say stupid things. Okay, never mind. Didn't click for me right away. Alright. Some of you have sent me really weird, crazy things, guys. Don't get associated with this weirdo. Alright, getting back into the game though. This is game number 3. It's the first ace match we've had all day, but this is still for the qualifiers. And one of these guys could be knocked out right here. Well, one of these guys will be knocked out right here. The question is, who moves on closer and closer to that qualifying match for Season 2 of Copa America? I'm Rifkin casting all night tonight with Zombie Grub. Spawning here though at the top left corner of the map, it is the blue Terran player who evolved from a Vulpix using a Firestone. It is Ninetales.
In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, it is Gool.
Alright, so prior to getting into this, if you guys are listening to us kind of in the lobby chat, we're talking about like this being a Terran map. Some really cool stuff here. You know, wait to see if you see Protoss on this map. The one thing that we'll go over on this map right now before anything gets started, third base out here is one that's being contested quite a bit. Well, right now, Zombie Group and I are kind of talking about how we think very strongly this is going to be like a very Yonsu similar map where this pocket base is going to be a lot more efficient and a lot more effective to take than necessarily the third out here. But this is the one everybody's been taking. Koreans, North Americans, Europeans, everyone's been taking this base and a lot of people have been feeling the burn for it. Tanks placed down here on the low ground, Colossus placed out here on hold position. We're seeing a lot of really cool ways to abuse the map. But the number one thing is we got vertical spawns on this map, which renders these little weird hallways completely inert for this matchup. And it was during the IEM Korea qualifiers we watched Supernova throw some tanks down here and run train on Hurricane.
It was cool.
Now, by the way, you pointed this out, and it bothered the hell out of me all day today casting the European qualifiers.
Yes. Yes.
This circle, guys. This is one of those things you can't unsee. So stream, I apologize. These circles are off space by 1 grid mark to where the command center should go. Oh, it's so irritating to look at. I didn't notice it till Scumbag Zombie pointed it out to me, but every base is like that, not just the natural.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it really bothered me too. Because it just, on Habitation Station, the circle would be like, put their command center here. So I thought it'd only be on this one too. Nope. Oh man, Ghoul. Ghoul, what are you doing? Are you gonna go for a Dark Shrine?
Oh, I think he is. That proxy location is very telling that may be the case. But Reaper should be able to scout this, hopefully. It looks a bit odd. He might think he's at the top right, just due to the way the probe left the base. But no. Bamboozled! Gotcha! Ninetales going to have to go around the wrong side of the map. And, oh yeah, that's right. I always forget. There's that cool little Reaper ledge they installed on the map. Which I didn't know, by the way. It was only put in the ladder version. Was not in the original version of this map. The more you know.
I like it. I like it a lot. Definitely prefer it that way.
Yeah, myself as well, but this is huge because even if Ninetales was getting really paranoid and wanted to scan, he wouldn't pick up on this. The position that Ghoul's put this is kind of old school. You don't see a lot of players who do this anymore. Unless Ninetales misclicks a scan really badly, he's not going to see this.
This Reaper should be able to get in there though. That's
hopefully. I mean, he might go for the mineral line though, right? That's the usual MO of the Reapers: kill a couple probes, not check the top half of the base, and actually get out as soon as possible.
If he had gone up the secret cliff, he might have just like, not even then. Yeah, you're right.
No, the position of this is too perfect. But
oh my god, he sees no nexus. He sees 3 gateways. Come on.
He's got to have some idea that something's up. I mean, it's not necessarily knowing it's a Dark Shrine, guys, but it's the okay, something is amiss.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Planetary Fortress.
This isn't a joke, guys. This is actually really cool for response because I think he believes this is going to be Blink, not going to be for DTs. But the turrets are coming down anyways out of paranoia. This covers against the oracles more so than anything else. This seems like a joke, guys. But once upon a time, I watched Beastie Cutie hold and win a game against Blink Stalkers having done this. Now, of course, it's not Blink Stalkers and it is DTs, but this is kind of a cool, hilarious, cost-ineffective, but very intelligent move that would have worked had that been the case. But Dark Town will get to the main once again. And as we said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But these DTs... not getting nearly as much damage as last time, but still getting some definite value. 9 workers dead and a Marauder.
They could have taken on that army with the SCV pool. That just scares me.
Yeah, actually that's a bunker paranoia coming down as well. Planetary at the natural, bunker in the main. Ninetales is absolutely playing scared right now, guys. The advantage he does have, though, is the fact that his opponent took a long time to put an expansion down. That DT attack, this is something that's usually meant to end the game.
Yo.
Oh, the stim! Oh no! He's gonna lose.
That was the one worry. That was the worry that.
You know, that GG may be like kind of a jokingly like maybe offensive GG, but that's losing that stim is huge. He doesn't have detection coverage for that other tech lab either, I don't believe.
High stuck auto tracking? Are you kidding me?
For the planetary.
Okay, I can kind of see like that Bronze League like put a center tower against Blink Stalkers, like that works kind of at the planetary, but not upgrading it. I mean, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that this is when it gets hilarious. For those who don't know what high sec auto tracking does, it extends the range of the missile turrets. It extends the range of the planetary. I think he's hoping that maybe it extends the detection range. Does
right?
it?
But it definitely doesn't.
Definitely. Okay, I had no idea. He just reposition a barracks. You can lift your damn buildings, you're tearing. Put one in the back of the mineral line and build your tech lab there. He's lost so many tech labs and so many reactors to this. Why is he wasting so much money? The DT is still running rampant. Oh, he kills it. There we go.
Oh my god. You know what? I shouldn't have said definitely. I've never actually tried this.
Yeah, I have no clue. There's never in my time casting or playing StarCraft 2 been a situation where you're like, you know what? I need 1 extra detection range. Oh, did he cancel that?
And, like, and how do you even like tell, right? Because like the range went to 7 to 8, but it doesn't say like vision range.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, no, the vision range can't move. No spell ever does that. Vision range? No.
I don't know. Probably not. We're just we're theorizing over something that we've never considered in StarCraft 2, guys. But you know, if Ninetales didn't like look at the resources lost for a moment here, you have to consider. I think I lost count 4 tech labs and I think 2 reactors he lost plus stim multiple times. I mean, this is not an unrecoverable situation, but not where he wants to be, guaranteed. I mean, this should have been something where he could go for an attack, where he goes for the counter, where he catches his opponent with nothing because he's got no upgrades behind Dark Templar. But instead, we have those level 1 armor upgrades coming out. We're going to probably have charge lots as well in due time. Yeah, as it completes here in a second. So this is looking pretty, I'd say, bad, quite frankly, just for Ninetales, based off the fact that he should have been ahead.
I definitely agree. Again, not sure if that GG was BM or if it was like you have 400 minerals kind of question, but like if it was, he certainly, you know, had to eat his crow. Is that the saying? Eat crow? Whatever.
Why would you eat crow?
It's like a saying. I mean, never mind.
Isn't it like you eat your hat or something? Like, yo, I'll eat my hat if this doesn't work or whatever.
Time for the Google. Meaning humiliation by admitting wrongness. Well, I guess he had to admit that he's wrong.
Okay, whatever. This is getting too weird for me. One thing I would love to come down. Okay, another turret to extend the detection range. But honestly, while medevacs are fantastic, I think perhaps after these first two come out, swapping over to a tech lab, getting one Raven, and then going back to medevac production might be very beneficial. I say this only because he can't afford. The thing is, guys, you gotta understand, this planetary fortress kills economy because you don't have that extra mule coming down. You don't have that extra scan available. Every single mule he drops, every single scan he burns is, I guess this isn't exactly a mathematical equation here, but almost twice as costly because he doesn't have that second orbital to make up for it.
It also messes up with the timings a lot. I mean, I know you said that a professional did do it once or twice, but it's such a big investment for when you're supposed to be doing a lot of other things, skyrocketing your economy.
It's really meant to counter blink, not DTs. That's the thing as well.
Too. So like, it wasn't even like, the purpose wasn't even really there too. So that's also a good point. It's a whole lot of no right now for Ninetales, and he's also getting a Ghost Academy, which
you know what? Actually, that might not be too bad because EMP does reveal stealth.
Well, yeah, and he did get Charge, as well as... Well, he didn't actually get Storm.
Oh, he's going to see the Archons now, though. I feel really good about that Ghost investment.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that this is why it's kind of a bad thing. This is why sometimes Koreans, wait a very long time to actually get a Ghost Academy, is that it's so expensive, especially if you're not on 3 bases, which Ninetales is not, that you just lose so much out in the army value.
Oh, kill the pylon!
It's not
Focus
worth
the
it.
pylon! Oh. He could have stopped that warp in. This drop should have done crazy damage. 2 Marines actually can't be touched because haha terrain, but this is not a drop that's going the way it should have. Actually, I think the Archons can't. Can the Archons? I don't think the range is big enough to reach that. Maybe? Oh, they can. Anyway. The drop's the 3rd. This is like watching a Terran player versus a Zerg player back on Star Station. Ye oldie once upon a time. Pick up at the main, drop at the 3rd, vice versa. Just keep harassing nonstop. God, Zealots can't do anything. Oh, focus fire, please, God. Don't split your DPS between the Dark Shrine and the pylon. Pretty cool micro here to Ninetales, actually. Credit where credit's due, but stock is warping in. We'll eventually be able to clean this up. Two Marines don't have the DPS to kill this in time. This would have been really nice to get for a kill.
Ninetales is getting that 3rd command center finally. He's currently down by 30 supply though, and I mean usually you want to be up by like 10 supply against a Protoss player.
Yeah.
The army supply is actually kind of even, so if he can manage to get a really good engagement.
You know what? Actually, you gotta consider too. There's no Colossus, right? Like he's got ghosts. Wait, no, does he? He made a Ghost Academy. Where's his ghost at? Oh, he's got no ghosts. I was gonna say if he puts these forward with this force and there's at least 2 ghosts in here. EMPs on top of Zealots on top of Archons. I think he could have taken a fight, but never mind. This force is so, like, sad to look at, I guess. Terran army, why are you so small? Cutting away from the Zealots, though. Archon's gonna force this army away. Actually, they might get the medevacs! Oh my god, that was close. Another volley or 2 could have just done that. Well, they don't have bonus damage. They still have splash, even against mechanical. 3rd CC completes at the 16-minute mark. Would you call this standard timing, Zombie Grub?
Not really.
Oh my god,
and it's not even an orbital. Is that going to be planetary?
That's what I was going to say. I think he's going to make it a planetary.
Oh, that's not worth it, I feel.
Big drop heading towards the main. Big drop coming towards the main. The entire army in the wrong position. This one might do some damage if he doesn't go for the Dark Shrine. Does go for the Dark Shrine, though. Kind of feel like he should have just gone for the pylons on the gateways. maybe, but either way, Sims is down real quick. Gonna try and respond, but without the stalker count, actually a recall goes up for the main. He can just pick up and go to that third once again, though. And there's really not a whole lot left here. Just Cannon and a couple of Archons and Zealots. So gonna do what damage you can. Chokes in here against him. The Archon's stuck in the middle line. Marines don't have a lot of DPS, though, when there's not that many upgrades on them. So these guys are struggling against the level 2 armor upgrades of these Zealots. He's going to pick up once again and probably go back to the main. But no overcharge pops. These medevacs are so low. These medevacs are screwed. No!
Yeah, if he focuses... Oh, doesn't have to focus that last one, but that was full of units. Obviously not good. A double Colossus production has also started. He has not been able to get the third... Oh.
No scans available. Well, actually, I take that back. How do you have full energy on a command center? Oh my god, Mule, please. There's a lot of weird things happening in this game, but I think with the number one thing with his economy, so I hesitate to call it in shambles because it's not horrible, but it's not as good as it should be. The SCV count is low, the mules are non-existent, and there's no second starport in sight. His opponent is now investing in the Colossus. I kind of feel this is going to be one of those awkward situations where you needed Vikings, but oops, you didn't have Vikings.
I think it's more of an awkward situation where oops, you needed army.
Well, you know what? If we're going to get really oops, it's like oops, you needed a second orbital.
Yeah, that's true too. And also just to move your barracks, pick them up and move them somewhere else.
I know! Oh my god, I'm so sorry to you, Ninetales, if you watch this VOD. I'm not doing this to be BM, but it was so painful as a Terran brother friend to watch that go down. But 4 tech labs, 1 reactor, he doesn't have production. His army value, half that of his overall supply, half that of his opponents. I mean, even in a defensive engagement around his own planetary fortress, I don't think Ninetales can take a fight. So his best bet is kind of to do what Zerg players do with mutas. You're in a situation where you know you can't take a direct fight, so you need to harass all game and keep your opponent just from pushing.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the dream. It's going to be very difficult to do so. I do like that Ninetales. You may be questioning the whole 4 tech lab thing. Oh, don't take that fight. The 4 tech lab thing. You don't even need to scan. That scan was like a confirmation that the army was really that big.
Yeah.
It is really that big.
It's like, wait, do you have hallucinations? No way. Oh my god, that's real. Get the hell out of here. He's doing a great job of cutting the Zealots so far, but as charge kicks in, these Marauders starting to go down and thus loses the concussive shells. But this is so one-sided. It's not even fair. And this isn't anything to do with Protoss, guys. This has everything to do with the way Ninetales handled this game. So, Gool, well, he's going to take this series. There's no question about it.
No. Planetary's helping out so much. No, just kidding.
I know, if this was Zerglings, maybe. The Planetary Fortress versus Zealots, it barely takes away their shields. The attack rate is too slow. GG. Well played. And looks like Gool will walk out of the series 2-1. This was, admittedly still an interesting game to watch, despite the mistakes, despite the odd bits here and there.